Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you are listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is October the 27th, 2023, and today the topic is called to comfort. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope that you all had a wonderful Thursday. Mine was just fine. Yes, mine was good. Worked at the church. Was in several meetings. Helped to get some stuff prepared for Super Sweet Sunday. Got my tasks done, and that was it in a nutshell. When I got back home, I bribed my kid. I was like, "Listen, if you let mommy take a nap," because he wanted a popsicle or something like that. And I was like, if you let mommy take a nap, then I'll let you get a popsicle. And lo and behold, I was able to take a nap because he took a nap. So as soon as he woke up, he asked for that popsicle. But yeah, so that was something. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think, was there anything else significant to share with y'all about yesterday? But I can't remember at the moment. Yeah, we both was up all night as well. So by the time I woke back up, I did wake up to the sound of my alarm. Well, alarms. But the interesting thing was I kept trying to listen to the prayer meditation, and then I would fall back asleep, basically. Um, but I did have some dreams, or a dream that had multiple things going on, and my sister was in one of them, and I reached out to her to let her know what I had came across and what I had found when I looked up the different things. And she said it was resonating with her. So hey, man, to God be the glory. I'm just glad to be used to hopefully be encouraging and inspiring. And I didn't write down this particular dream or the dreams, but I was remembering different parts, and I was looking it up or whatever. And it was interesting. It was definitely interesting, to say the least. And her part resonated with her, and the parts that were involving me, or when I looked up stuff, seemed to have things to do with me. It was interesting and whatnot as well. So yeah, y'all, we don't see what the Lord do with all of this, but hey, just sharing that God is speaking through dreams and whatnot. But that's not what my conversation is about today. Today's inspiration came from me listening to the prayer meditation for the third time. I played it like 3 times today because, again, every time I played it, I went to sleep. So by the time I played it the third time, I finally listened to the whole thing. And towards the end of it, Soul Space app, for those that know or don't know, I listen to the Soul Space app every morning. And so towards the end of it, the guide mentioned something about called to comfort, but and that really just stood out and resonated to me. But I guess I'm here to bust a few bubbles today, so sorry, in advance. But if you thought that this conversation was going to be about soft life, then I mean, it is, but it ain't what you think. Yes, we are called to comfort, friends, but we are not called to be comfortable. We're not called to complacency and things of that nature. We are called to comfort one another. And so that's what the conversation and the inspiration came from today. I went deeper about it, found these verses, felt led to share with you guys a couple of other things that had came into my heart and mind regarding this. But I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired to go deeper on your own and everything like that. Because called to comfort, yes, but probably not the way that we doing it. All right, well, let's get into it. So I did write down the definitions of the comfort that I think that we're used to, and then the comfort that I think we're supposed to be doing. So the definitions of comfort say this. The first one said a state of physical ease and freedom from pain or constraint. This is what I think that we focus on. We all focus on this part, right? We're like, yes, called to comfort. We probably just thinking about ourselves, right? And things of that nature. But what I was receiving this morning is we should more so be comforting others and everything like that. And so that reminded me of the second definition of comfort, which says the easing or alleviation of a person's feelings or of grief or distress. So while we so worried about our own selves, right, and being comfortable and everything like that, really we should be comforting one another. And it's just me and my little observation. I think something I received the other day, but here it is again. If everybody was comforting one another, then everybody would also be comforted. Can we see that? I don't know if y'all can see that with me, but I mean, because it talks about the Bible and the Lord comforting us, we're comforting one another. And so if we're comforting one another, then we won't be lacking because we're also being comforted. I feel like that was something already by itself, but hey, I hope that you, encouraged and inspired by that. But again, I mean, yes, I do feel like it's all around us. We're all selfishly looking to be comfortable. And this is a quote that came to me as I was writing things down this morning. Again, is that we're called to comfort and not be comfortable. Matter of fact, another thing that was reflecting on this morning is this idea of, I believe that there's several verses. I didn't write any of them down. You guys can look this up on your own, but there's several verses that talks about, the Christian life not being comfortable, right? It talks about the Christian life being, one of persecution and things of that nature. And it's not a easy walk. The easy thing about it is God, the comfort and whatnot that we receive from him and through his word and the Holy Spirit and things of that nature. Like that part is comfortable, right? But walking it out and living on earth and everything like that, that's not the most comfortable thing. I mean, I've definitely had to have uncomfortable conversations with other people and with the Lord, so I don't understand where we all get this idea that, again, we should live without suffering and we should live without any form of uncomfort and things of that nature. Maybe that's how we were supposed to be. So I can see in regards to that, yeah, perhaps we were supposed to live that way. But we all know what happened with Adam and Eve. And then we all know what we do every day. Because again, all of us are sin and falling short. And we can't look at Adam and Eve and say that we wouldn't have did what they did, because we would have did what they did. That's why Jesus had to do what he did. So anyway, so that's the definitions. I also came across a biblical definition, I guess, if you will, of the word comfort. And it said to come alongside to give aid in time of need. Again, this is what we're called to do. It's not called to just live a soft life, or called to be comfortable, or called to, just let other people comfort us or whatever the case may be, and then expect that we don't have to comfort someone else. But anyway, I feel like this conversation is important because, again, while we're so busy worrying about being comfortable, and maybe even being comforted, right? Just accepting the comfort that God gives, as well as accepting comfort that maybe other people give us and things of that nature. Then we are dropping the ball as the kingdom of God. Matter of fact, yesterday when I did wake up from that nap that I told y'all about, that I bribed my son to be able to have once I got off of work, I woke up at 7:21. And I felt led to look it up. And so I did. And it sent me straight to Matthew 7:21. And it's that, again, scary verse that you guys have heard before. But here it is again. Not everyone that say unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father, which is in heaven. So again, and I saw that verse. I felt a little conviction because I felt like I came across something earlier yesterday that reiterated the same thing, which I shared it. But for me to wake up at that time and get that verse again, I'm like, okay, Lord. Then I went on Instagram and somebody was addressing the same thing. So I felt like, okay, perhaps the Lord wants me to share this information again, and so I shared it on all of my platforms that I, could come across, whatever the case may be, because I'm like, well, for whoever needs to see it and hear this in this moment, I'm going to do my part and share. Um, and on some of the posts I put, like, I'm concerned, because again, there's a lot of believers that are being quote unquote comfortable, which is ultimately being complacent, and they're not doing the will of God, but they're expecting that they're going to be in heaven. And the Bible's already clear that that's not going to be the case. And the video that I was sharing yesterday that I had come across after I woke back up and all that type of stuff, the gentleman was sharing that, basically, if you are a watchman and you're not out here warning people and having these conversations about Christ and all this type of stuff, then the blood of those people is on your hands. Because there's people that I was talking to my husband about this last night. It's like, I feel like we're all connected, and again, the things that we go through is for someone else. It's not just for you. So this may be unpopular today, and y'all might not want to hear it, but I'm trying my best to just do my part and share and let the Lord do whatever He gonna do with you, for you, and through you, to encourage you and inspire you to hopefully take up your mantle, take up your cross and follow Christ and do your part. And because somebody's salvation is connected to you, and everything like that. Here goes some verses. And everything. So 2 Corinthians 1:3-4. It says, "Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of mercies and God of all comfort, who comforts us in all our affliction, so that we may be able to comfort those whom in any affliction." I might have wrote one of those words wrong. So comfort those who are in any affliction with the comfort with which we ourselves are comforted by God. So we are comforted by God so we can comfort others, and everything like that. And it says any affliction, y'all. So, and then here's the thing that's standing out to me right now, that again reiterates what I was just talking about. Why do we think that we can go through life without suffering? Why do we think that we're supposed to just live comfortable and not have to sacrifice nothing and all this type of stuff? Again, people out here talking about soft life and everything like that. Don't get me wrong. I want to, experience some vacations, do a little travel, make sure that I'm living alongside of working, and things of that nature. But to think you should live life without any type of work, sacrifice, and I ain't talking about the sacrifice that people do to get up. I ain't talking about that stuff. I'm talking about sacrificing your comfort in regards to whatever the Lord wants you to do. If He wants you to talk to your neighbor or talk to your friend about that hard topic, it's time for you to get uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? If He wants you to get out here and wake up in the morning at 4 and do daily inspiration, it's time for you to get uncomfortable. That's the stuff I'm talking about. Like, anyway, the part that's standing out to me in that last verse here is, it says, who comforts us in all our affliction. So that's letting me know that I got some afflictions happening as well. And I do, you know what I'm saying? Now, granted, I've been telling y'all, look, it's Abundance 2023 and a lot of beautiful, wonderful things has happened this year. And, to God be the glory for each and every one of them, but even in spite of all of that, there's been some ups and downs. There's been some tests of faith. There's been some, difficult situations that I've had to go through and everything like that. In the midst of all the things, now, do I still have comfort? Yes, because I have the Lord. I have peace, joy, hope, and whatnot in the midst of it. And I see God fighting my battles the more I lean and depend on Him with those afflictions, right? But I'm still going through afflictions. I still face and have afflictions. So let's get out of this concept of thinking that, again, we're called to comfort, meaning living comfortable and being complacent, because none of us is called to that, according to what I'm receiving this morning. Now, y'all can go deeper, see what the Lord tells you. And that don't mean work yourself silly, because those that are working themselves silly, I mean, obviously, again, take time, rest, and things like that. Ain't nobody talking about you, We talk about the ones that ain't working. We talk about the ones that just think they don't have to do no work. In regards to it, faith will lead to you doing work. I work in faith. And I'm not just talking about the 9 to 5 or anything. I'm talking about whatever the work is that the Lord has me doing as well. So anyway, we're called to be comforters, not comfortable. But anyway, Isaiah 40:1, it says, comfort my people, says your God. I mean, that's it. You guys can look at that as well. I mean, it's asking us to comfort his people. He's comforting us. He made me comfortable, or gave me comfort in my affliction, so I can give comfort to someone else. And again, the situations may not be comfortable for me. Again, I've had to have conversations that were uncomfortable. I'm listening to situations that are uncomfortable and things of that nature, but I'm trying my best to do my best to be, again, even getting dreams about people may not be the most comfortable thing, but obedience is better than sacrifice. And so do your part. Let's not be one of those ones saying, Lord, Lord, oh, I did works in your name, X, Y, and Z. But if you didn't do the will of God, then, hey, man, look, every time I see that verse, I ask the Lord, and they're like, am I doing your will? Because again, like people have said, that is a scary verse, to think that you are in the will of God and that you like, oh, well, I'm a believer, I'm a Christian, I believe. But then you ain't doing whatever he asked you to do. I don't know. Let me keep going with these verses, y'all. We got 1 Thessalonians 5:11. It says, therefore, encourage one another and build one another up, just as you are doing. Those that are doing it, great. Keep on doing it. You know what I mean? Those that are just getting started, keep going, go deeper, get better, do it more. And if you ain't doing it at all, it's time to get started, friends. Listen, the only title that I've been comfortable with accepting in this season is Watchman. Because I do feel like there's things that I'm sitting here saying on the juice, for example, that may be ahead of my time. You know what I mean? But it's like I'm seeing stuff that it seems like people around me is not seeing, and I'm trying to address it and stuff like that. But then, and it's hard, sometimes too. Again, it's not comfortable to be a quote unquote watchman, but I'm not going to let the blood be on my hands at the end of the day. I'm going to do my part, say whatever the Lord wants me to say every morning, do whatever the Lord wants me to do when it comes to whatever, GSL, whatever it is, and try my best to do my part and let that be that. Again, it's not comfortable all the time. It's not easy all the time. But I guess I'm understanding that I'm called to comfort or be a comforter rather than be comfortable. And that's ultimately the juice this morning. Y'all can go deeper. There's plenty of verses in the go deeper section for you guys to peruse and let marinate on your hearts, souls, and minds. At some point, again, there were so many things coming up. I ended up looking up things in reference to being complacent and whatnot. So just go to openbible.info and plug in the word complacency and see what the Bible has to say about that. You also can go to gotquestions.org and plug in the word comfort and see what the Lord has to say about that. But yeah, this is ultimately the juice this morning. I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired to go deeper, because I think that's all I got to say about that. Now, the Bible verse of today is 1 Peter 1:3. It says, blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, which according to his abundant mercy hath begotten us again unto a lively hope, or lovely hope, y'all can check and see which one that is, by the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. It is Friday, so you know that we have a new episode of the GSL Talk Show coming out at 7 p.m. It is about a gentleman named Christopher Trevette. His life was not always comfortable neither. He's had several challenges, including abuse that led to him getting cerebral palsy. as a result and whatnot. And then, but basically, he found purpose in his pain, and he's sharing about his testimony and whatnot on the GSL Talk Show tonight. So by all means, check it out. And yeah, y'all have a fabulous Friday. I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. There you go. Facebook, YouTube, Rumble. Anybody listening to the sound of my voice, I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. I saw people pop in and pop out. Again, this might not be popular, but for those that actually take the time to listen to this, I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. I hope that this has lit a fire in you or fanned the flames in you or whatever the case may be, because again, being complacent, I mean, you know, I was reading those verses that talks about, you know, what God feels about us being lukewarm, and things of that nature. There's a verse in Zephaniah as well that stood out as well. I didn't write it down, but again, if you guys go deeper with the verses and the websites and the things that I've shared just now, then you guys may come across those verses on your own. But yeah, man, that's what was resonating with me this morning. You know, when the Lord gave me that called to comfort, you know, I felt like that was some good juice, and I'm, like I said, trying to just do my part, man. Just do my part. Now, today is Friday. I don't have too many things. At least I don't have to go anywhere in particular today. But I still ain't did my nails, so I know, look, call me out or whatever. So I guess I need to do that today, if the Lord's will. So that's one thing. Before I do that, I might need to, you know, tackle some of these little chores around here and whatnot. So that's something I need to do. And then I got some people that say they're calling me today. So I guess I'm gonna be talking to some people today and whatnot as well. But that's all that I know of that I have going on. But we're gonna see what the Lord do. I guess I'll let y'all know tomorrow, if the Lord's will, what actually happens and whatnot. Look at this, man. It's just I know one of my nails broke yesterday while I was at work. This one. Easy. And so I'm probably gonna, I was thinking about doing my nail, making them pointy, but I think because of the way they broke and whatnot, I might just make them shaped like this one, like that one in the middle. That's what I'm thinking. But anyway, random little stuff. Yeah, I would love to know what y'all think about these things. You know, thank you to those that do tune in and watch and leave comments and whatnot. But hey, I mean, no pressure. Like I said, I'm glad that the Lord shifted my mindset to not worry about that type of stuff. I mean, I'm curious to know like what is coming from all of this, but at the same time, I'm okay with not knowing as well, you know, because again, maybe people in 2030 or 30, 45 or something like that will tune into these and get the juice, you know. So I'm not worried about it. I'm just trying my best to do my part, and we'll see what the Lord do with it. But yeah, y'all have a fabulous Friday, and I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye.